I'm Alex. I'm with Cloze. Today we're going to talk about how you can use Cloze to increase your referrals and repeat clients. For today's class, we're going to run through all the stuff you can do after the transaction is closed. Done a great job, help somebody buy or sell a home, but now what? How do you build those relationships for the long term? How do you build a game plan to stay in touch with them post-transaction? So we'll talk about how Cloze can help you with that. How do you build an ongoing routine even after year one? Build it for the long term, build those strong relationships so you get repeat clients and referrals. Then I'll give you some tips for overall outreach. It's a great time to dig in, learn new topics, learn our software, learn all kinds of different things. It's a rare opportunity to really dig in, invest in our CRM. So thank you all for joining me. I really appreciate it. With that, I'm going to get started. You've been following along. We've been going through all the ways that Cloze can really help you on a day-to-day basis, how Cloze as a CRM can help you build those relationships for the long haul. So today we're going to dig into how you can use it to increase those referrals, build strong relationships, stay in touch, give you one place to go and build on top of all that great work you've already done. Our biggest asset at the end of the day is our relationships. Our relationships are our business. It's a different way to think about it. If we think about our CRM and our database of all those relationships in terms of it being an asset, we tend to think about it a little differently. It is our income. It's where we get our income, both currently and in the future. So when we think about it that way, we tend to treat it a little differently. So let's dig into all of those past clients today and see how we handle those and maintain those relationships. No matter what industry you're looking at, people turn to their colleagues, their family, their friends for referrals. They look to others to know who they should work with. That's how they make decisions. We all make decisions that way. It doesn't matter what category you're in, you're always looking to others to understand who you should make those decisions with. We tend to buy from people we trust, or we get referrals, we get recommendations from other people we trust. It's all about trust. Those are the key ways that we make sure that we're understanding what we're going to buy before we do it. Before we commit, we always try to get a background understanding of who we're working with. We do business with the people we know and trust is really the key to how everything works, not just real estate. But when you look at the numbers, what's interesting is only 18% of agents follow up with their past clients. If you look at some studies, this is down as low as 4%. So somewhere between 18 and 4%, we'll say less than 20%. It's a really low number, considering how people generally work with those past clients. Very, very low. Less than 20% of agents follow up with their past clients. So the question is why? Well, really the answer is it's hard. We get pulled in a lot of directions on a daily basis, and we tend to focus on all the things we have to do for our current clients, following up with all the leads that we have. There's lots and lots of work just in that. We get a lot of busy work, a lot of calls just to try to connect with a lead, lots of little things around every transaction we do to give the service we give. So we get pulled in lots and lots of directions. So that leaves little time for investing in those relationships, those past clients, make sure we're building them for the future. If we look at the lead conversion ratio, it's pretty interesting. Cold direct mail, it's pretty terrible. Internet leads, and I know we all buy a lot of those types of leads. We spend a lot of money on those leads to get them inbound to us. The conversion rate on those, it's a lot of work to follow up on them, and the conversion rate is not that great. Gets a little better as we get in person, but it's still kind of expensive. Think about your hourly rate to go knock on a bunch of doors. Advertising gets a little better, still expensive. Open houses, now you're in person, so the chance of converting is actually much higher. But when we look at it, where are the best converting ratios? Where's the best conversion ratio for you? Past buyers, past clients, so past buyers and sellers, and referrals. Those are really the best converting areas for us. So when we think about how we spend our time, that's actually the area where we want to spend the most amount of time because it costs the least and we get the highest conversion rate compared to everything else we do. Top performing agents, they get 86% of their income from repeat clients and referrals. There are referral only agents out there who don't do any lead gen at all. It's all based on past clients and referrals. It's a very different approach to their business. Industry average, though, that's about 30%. So there's a huge gap between top performing agents and what we see for the typical national average. The question is why? What causes this? Why does this happen? Well, the answer from a practical standpoint is just out of sight, out of mind. If we don't follow up, it's going to be hard to get them as a repeat client or referral. There's such a gap in that follow-up rate, that less than 20% following up. So as we think about our own business, when was the last time we talked to all of our past clients? Have we done it recently? Do we always follow up? after the transaction closes. I had that exact experience with my own home. Bought a home about 14 years ago. Agent did everything right. Put us in a great home for raising our kids. I never heard from him again, ever. Transaction closed, one and done and gone. I had a family member reach out. That family member reached out and said, hey, I'm moving to your area. Who'd you work with to buy your home? I said, I don't know. He did a great job, but I can't remember his name. So I gave that referral to somebody else. Didn't go to the person who did a great job for me. It went to somebody else. And that's just because he never followed up with me again. So out of sight, out of mind. If we're not following up, it's really hard to get that repeat business and the referrals. And I know automation is all the rage these days. There's lots of drip campaigns. There's lots of email marketing. There's all kinds of tools to automate all of this. The problem is we're not really building a relationship when we're doing it. These tools are very good for keeping our brand out there and giving information out. And it's part of the mix, and it should absolutely be used. That's why we integrate with so many of these different platforms. It's important as part of the mix, but it's not the only answer. You still need to be talking to them one-on-one, in person, text, handwritten notes. There's all kinds of other communications which build the relationship the long term. Email marketing is one piece of it, but we're not building strong relationships for the long haul here. We're communicating, but we tend to tune this stuff out. We get so much mail on a daily basis. We get hundreds and hundreds of messages a day. And well, when we get hundreds of messages a day, we just tune them out. We're not building. There's a very different connection between a bulk piece of email we receive versus a one-to-one connection. Same thing goes with postal mail. We send a lot of postal mail. We spend a lot of money on it. And the reality is it does give us a little bit of brand recognition, but it's really just between when we look at it out of the mailbox and then throw it in our recycling bin. There's not a lot of time there in between. It's fleeting. So a lot of money spent, but it doesn't give us that much. So we spend a lot on this stuff, but it's not necessarily getting through, and it's certainly not building the relationship for the long haul. For every household out there, there are 12 agents competing for your past clients. So if we're not staying in touch with them, there's 12 other agents out there trying to take those past clients and make them their clients. We have to be staying in touch, otherwise we lose them. So what's holding us back? What causes this? Why aren't we following up? Lots and lots of answers to that question. Too busy, always hear that one when I ask. Don't know what to say. That's a fair one too. You haven't talked to them in a while, what are you going to say? Just fear of rejection. What if they don't want to hear from me? What if they don't get back to me? So we tend not to do it. There's lots of reasons why we might not do it. So as we work with all of our clients, we talk to the top agents and ask them what they do, understand how we're doing this. Well, the answer from top agents is, they do a lot of work to stay in touch with those relationships. They do a lot of things to really get to know their clients deeply. They actually spend time with fewer people. It's a very focused approach. So deep relationships with fewer people, not trying to spread them thin across thousands of people, but trying to get to know hundreds of people in a very deep way, keeping track of every detail in a CRM, making sure they're regularly talking to them. Build those long relationships makes a big difference. Here's some of their tips. Let's jump into some of their tips. One we hear right at the top is be authentic, be true. Don't be salesy, don't be pushy. The harder you push, the further they step back. Be authentic, be true, be human in your outreach. Makes a huge difference in how you approach. Make it personal. Keep track of every little detail. It's all about them, not about you. Get to know them at a different level. Understand what they're looking for, hopes, dreams. What do they do for their hobbies, their interests? What's their family look like? Cats and dogs and whatever it might be. Know all of those details. It makes the conversation a lot easier, a lot more personal, and it makes it easier for you to engage and reach out with them. So as we focus on what to say, it's always personal. Keep it personal. Houses are personal in their nature. Keep it simple. When you do reach out, don't make it long. Quick interactions are fine. It's a check-in. How can I help? How can I help you? Simple text, simple phone call, quick couple of minutes, check in. Do they need anything? Great. Move on. Email, same thing. It's not multiple paragraphs. Just a quick note. How can you help? Keep it simple. Keep it quick. They know you're available to be their trusted advisor and to help them. As long as you're doing the outreach, that's what's important. Don't be afraid. Get this one all the time. What if they don't want to hear from me? What if they don't get back to me? Doesn't matter. Move on to the next person. It's okay. But there's gold out there in those relationships. Oftentimes they do want to hear from you. You help them with their biggest purchase, their biggest asset, the biggest thing they own. You are their trusted real estate advisor. Oftentimes, especially in these times, it can be a very helpful thing to do. Perfect example, Kathy here. In her very first class with Cloze, she did one of our Been Touch reminders. She reached out to a past client she hadn't talked to in a long time, and she got a listing out of it. She hadn't talked to them in 12 years. It had been 12 years since she talked to them. They got back to her the next day and said, hey, Kathy, we'd love to work with you. We were just about to list with somebody else. She got that listing. She just got out of touch. She's a top agent down in Texas. She just got out of touch with them, got the listing, got the deal. In all of our classes, we always ask you to reach out. Use some of those keep in touch reminders from people you haven't talked to in a long time. Talk to a past client. It happens all the time, these kind of engagements where somebody gets back to you and says, haven't talked to them forever. Great, I've got something. I was doing a class just before everything shut down in New York. I had a skeptical agent in the room who was just getting started. She set everything up. She got one of our reminders and she actually sent it off. She got a listing in the class. True story. It does happen. That's why we ask everybody to do it. They're used to working with you. They had a good experience. Don't be afraid to reach out and keep it going. We'll hear that over and over again as we're talking to top agents. Be consistent. Once you're going, keep it going because they're used to hearing from you. So the more you reach out, be consistent about it, it becomes a normal course of business. They get to know you, you get to know them. It's easy to have a conversation. Relationship is there. When it comes to recommending you, they'll do it. You'll get those recommendations without having to ask. And they'll come back to you when they're ready to transact again because they have that relationship established. Think of your database as your future income. CRM is all about your income. It's a very simple equation. Everybody in there that you know well, that you're staying on top of, yields income. Every 100 households you know, there are 14 transactions every year. There's a lot of transactions that just happen around us. So if we're staying in touch with all the people we know well, those 14 transactions are there for us per 100 households. There's a lot of transactions happening. And it doesn't matter what the economy is doing. Things go up and down, but life goes on. Those transactions will still happen. The goal is to focus your time and shift it differently. Less of the busy work and spend less time chasing those lower converting leads. Invest your time in the future income, in all these activities that are related to your past clients. Stay in touch with them and it will yield income for you. All right, let's talk through how we can help here. Lots of different things. We're going to run through all these today as part of the class. Lots of little things we can help you with that all build up and are key to staying in touch with those past clients. The goal is to get you here. If you're already there, great. We're going to make it easier on you. We automate a lot of things, help you with a system, stay on track of all the little details. You can do it inside of Cloze. So what happens after the close? How do you manage after the close? Lots of things that are key here. The key one is just following up, making sure you're doing it. Year one is critical. You've delivered amazing service, stellar service. They're very happy with the outcome. Now is the time to stay engaged. Don't disappear. Don't be my agent and disappear. They're used to talking to you. They're used to working with you. So it'll still feel natural to continue to talk to you. This is the time to strengthen that relationship. And this builds and builds and builds. They get to know you even more post-transaction. They'll start to refer you business. And then those people you're working with will start referring you business too. It builds and it builds. And those people are more likely to refer customers as well, because there's a lot of norms within all of that. They buy from the people they trust and know, and that network of people who know each other trusts you. So that's why we want to invest in it. So don't wait. Start right away. Get going. Start the day of the closing. From a game plan perspective, this can be embedded in Cloze right out of the gate. Immediately, many of you do this already. You give a closing gift. Great. Keep doing that. Also throw a handwritten card in the mail. Do both. It's good to get in the habit of sending those notes. Follow up 1 or 2 days after. How is everything going? How's the home? How can I help? Is there anything I can help with? Always be asking if you can help. I'll reach out again in a week or so. Set up that you're going to reach out again. Makes it easier. A couple weeks. Check in again. Are you unpacked? Goes both ways. Are you packing? How can I help? I'm still here to help. Great. I'll follow up. I'll check back in again. Again, ending those conversations with you're going to check in again and you're still here to help. I moved into my home. I didn't have anybody to turn to. If the agent had reached out, I would have asked him a bunch of questions. Instead, I had to figure stuff out on my own. Open up your network. Local recommendations. It could be anything. It could be lawn service, handyman, painters, any number of things that you can help with. Recommendations for restaurants, whatever it might be. Daycare. There's all kinds of things you can open up. People are not sure. They have to figure it out on their own. So staying close in that first month is essential. You can see how these start to space out. These are all in Cloze as what we call next steps. Check in again. Is there anything you can help with? You're starting to build a routine. Do a home visit in the first year. Swing by. How's everything look? We talked about X or Y while you were buying. I'd love to see how that turned out. There are things that you know, all the little details you know. You've been taking notes. Keep track of all that. And then it makes it easier to engage, continue to get to know them. Now you're starting to get into that routine, quarterly routine of staying in touch with them. Anniversary of closing, reach out on the anniversary. It's an easy reason to reach out. Within Cloze, you're going to automate all of this using next steps, email templates, and the Cloze agenda. Steps will come due and they'll be displayed on the agenda. We give you templates. When you do reach out via email, the template is there for you to make it easy. You're going to see for both Cloze buyers and sellers, a whole bunch of post-transaction steps that you can follow. You'll see it right below. And then you can follow these along to do all of your follow-up. As you complete them, Cloze will advance to the next step. Makes it easy. Comes due on the agenda, you'll see it there, and then you can reach out with a template or swipe to call. But the key is making sure you're staying tight, you're staying close, and you're being helpful. So let me show you what this looks like on my phone. So there's my iPhone. You can see here, got a bunch of to-dos and next steps, but they're right at the top. 3-month follow-up for Dustin. Simple, you can swipe and call. 2-day follow-up for Walter. Same thing, call, or I could email. Got a template built in. I could send an email and I could call. But the key is staying close. Right after that transaction, it's right there. Let's look at email templates. Within Cloze, the email templates are built in to the steps. You can also create your own templates as well. We worked with your brokerage to set up your account. These steps are already there. We've added templates with your brokerage. They can add more too to help you with this process. In this example on the right, what's happening is I'm swiping on one template, swiping to the right to reach out, and then I'm selecting a different template. So anytime you want to switch, just tap on that template icon and switch to a different template. So I have the checking in template there, but now I'm switching to a different one. Easy to do. If you have a great email you've just written and you want to save it, you can do so. Just write up the email inside of Cloze, tap on the template icon, and then hit add. Really easy to do. You can also update the template. If you've already written a good one, you selected it, and then you want to make a change, you can update it. Really easy to do. Let's take a look at how to do that. So now I'm in Cloze on my desktop. I'm going to select a person here. Got Eric here. Send an email to him. So I can either select the template down here, something simple, I could do that. I could make a change, whatever I want to write, tap on the template icon down here, and then I could hit update. This will update this template. So I could do that. I could also simply write up a new template, something more exciting than that, but you could create a template, tap on the template icon down there, and then come down and hit add. And this will save this template for all future use. And then I can use it anytime I want. So templates are a great way to save time. Instead of rummaging through our sent folder, trying to find an email I sent to somebody else, just save it as a template, and I can send it over and over again. Saves a ton of time. So use templates will definitely save you time. After year one, this is critical. Keep it going. This is where our keep in touch reminders come into play. You're going to move to quarterly at this point, and Cloze will remind you on a quarterly basis. You can adjust these. If you want to do it more frequently, you can. Each stage and segment we have, so all your past buyers, your past sellers, they're going to have a keep in touch schedule of quarterly. If you want to adjust that, you can, and I can show you that in a moment. They're used to hearing from you. You've connected with them a fair amount during year one, so just keep it going. It's natural. When you do so, remember all the tips from the top agents. Personalize it. Know all the little ins and outs. So when you do engage, it's personal, it's human, it's authentic. Don't be salesy. Don't be constantly asking for referrals. I know some coaching programs will say to do that, but my opinion, it will come on its own. I give referrals to an agent I used to work with in Boston. I still stay in touch with him. He stays in touch with me, and I still give him referrals because we built a relationship over many years that we worked together. So do that, and those relationships will be strong. The referrals will come on their own. Cloze has created timelines for every person you know. So all those past clients are going to be in Cloze already. You're going to have a timeline view. That timeline view includes all of your activity. You'll know exactly where you last left off. You'll know what you said over email. You'll know when you talked. If you took notes, you'll have those notes there. They're all at your fingertips, which makes the conversation easier. Be consistent. Keep the rhythm going. The goal here is we've got downtime. Get into a rhythm so that when everything gets back to normal and everything picks up again, you're still doing that rhythm. Top agents carve out time and make sure that they're staying in touch with those past relationships. They set aside time every single day because it's not just right now, it's what's happening next month and the month after and the month after. If we're not keeping those relationships strong, things dry up in the next month. We have to keep at it, building those relationships, keeping them strong. Just do it. No excuses. Pick up the phone, reach out, do the handwritten notes to stand out. When it comes to Facebook, things like that, an interaction on social media, it does count, but stand out from the crowd. If it's somebody's birthday, you're going to see 50 people writing on their wall. Be the one person who picks up the phone, says happy birthday on the phone. Even just text them. It's just a different interaction, everything you see on Facebook. We're going to remind you about birthdays too in Cloze, and I'll show you that as well in a moment. But try to be different. Try to be a little more personable, and it makes a huge difference in how the interaction goes, how it builds over time. Lots and lots of different ways to interact, lots of touch points. Cloze is going to remind you about a lot of the things on the left there to give you little reasons to reach out, make it easier on you. Birthdays, wedding anniversaries, purchase and sale anniversaries, home evaluations. If you're not doing home evaluations, they're a great thing to start doing. Once a year, offer to come in, tell them what their home is worth. It is their largest asset. It's a great thing to do as the trusted real estate advisor. You're their advisor for a lifetime. Tell them about what's happening in the economy, what's happening in their neighborhood, what's their home worth. You have the expertise to do it. Did they remodel? Are they about to remodel? And you can tell them what it's going to look like in the future. Could be anything about your neighborhood. Make recommendations. You went to a great restaurant, reach out. You know that they're a foodie. They love certain types of cuisine. Let them know. Little personable things here and there really makes a difference in building that relationship. All that stuff on the right, all that kind of stuff, you'll do through your email marketing tools. That's also part of the mix. So it's not just one or the other. It's all of these things together. Your email marketing is another piece of this. Both are part of your mix. The building of the relationship, though, is going to happen on the one-to-one side. You can also log all of that postal work that we all should be doing if we're not doing it. If you are doing it, great. You can log it and Cloze. Those do count as personal interactions, so you should do it. It's easy to do in Cloze. Just tap on that map icon, hit I mailed Gina, and then it gets logged right in the timeline. We'll give you an opportunity to put a note in there. So what'd you talk about? You wrote a handwritten card, handwritten thank you note, jot it down, just keep a simple topic. When you said it, then you'll see it right in the timeline. That does count as an interaction. You did something to build that relationship. So we count it as an actual touch point. You can also do it in bulk. If you go to the trouble doing all your holiday cards and put a handwritten note, a personalized handwritten note in every single one of those, well, you should get credit for it, and then you can log it. So you can log all of those in one action. When you do so, we're going to give you a few different options here. So for example, if you did something that was bulk, maybe you had a postcard, you sent it out to a few hundred people. It's just a generic postcard. You could link it to that property like I did there. You can also mark it as bulk because it's not you didn't write a note on it. If you went to the trouble and sent 100 holiday cards out, hand wrote the labels, hand wrote everything, then you should get credit for that. And that does count as interaction because you wrote a personal note and you toggle off the bulk marketing action. So let's take a look at how that works. I'm in the people section here in Cloze. Here's Cloze. Here's all those people I've organized. Remember those columns? If you've been attending my classes, we were talking about how to fill out these columns. That's your goal. Get all your current leads. Those are your warm and hots. People you're working with right now, they're in contract. And in this Cloze section, those are all your past clients. Those are your past buyers and sellers. So as we're thinking about today, you want to fill out that past column, that closed column. That's the column that we're going to be really focused in on. You want to make sure you do that. So let's look at how you can log, just simply log a postal. So I'm going to click on Dolores here. See the little icon right here? I click on that. It gives me a chance to log it. Just tap on I mailed Dolores. Maybe I sent a thank you. Did it today. Hit save. Right there. Done. Very, very simple. Easy to do. Now, you can also see she's got a tag there called holiday card. So I'm going to find all of the people that are on my holiday card list. So if you remember from my other classes, you put a hashtag symbol in, and the hashtag symbol pulls up all the people that have a tag. Each tag there is a different set of people. So I've got my holiday card tag, my sphere tag, my ballet class tag, all kinds of different tags. So if I select holiday card, this is the group of people that all have the holiday card tag. Now I can see them all right there. If I click on the little check mark right there, see that gray check mark? If I click on it next to Jack here, notice this menu that comes up along the bottom. I'm going to scroll to the very bottom here. If I click on that check mark, I can select them all. So I scroll to the bottom. I've selected all the people with the holiday card tag. If I want to create Avery labels, I could do so. I'm going to tap on this box here. I could export it as a spreadsheet if I wanted to, or I could generate Avery labels. So now I've just created a PDF with all of the Avery labels already created for me. Really easy to do. Now I just print this out, put the right labels in my printer, and I'm good. Super simple. So let's do that again. Now I'm going to do the holiday card again. I'm going to select my holiday card tag. You select a single person. Now I'm going to scroll to the bottom, select them all, and then right at the bottom here, see this envelope icon? I can log postal mail. So if I click on that, that'll bring up an option to log the postal message against all of those people. So it could be any number of things. It could be just holiday card, and then I could pick the date, and then I could go, maybe I sent it out right at the beginning of the year, hit save, and they all get that postal mail logged in their timeline. So if you do the holiday cards, log it in their timeline, it counts. It's a great way to do it. All right, let's talk about mail merge. So mail merge is another great way to get all kinds of things out. It could be personalized communication, it could be any number of things. Great thing about mail merge is that you're sending a real email to each unique person. It's not a BCC. So when I show you this in a moment, you're going to see a bunch of people on the to line. All those people are going to get their own unique email. It's sent with your real email, and they're all going to get their own. If I look outside of Cloze, I'm going to see a folder. In my sent folder, I'm going to see all those unique emails go out the door. When you do it, though, it should be targeted, focused on a specific group of people that you're reaching out to. This is very different than sending a mail with ActivePipe or MailChimp. In those cases, you're sending to thousands of people a standardized, beautifully formatted piece of material. Very different. It's good for doing the masses. In this case, you're sending off what looks like you typing up a handwritten email to a lot of people with one push of the send button. So it is different. We do limit you to 250 people at a time when you do this because your email system only allows so many emails per day and only so many emails per minute and per hour. So most systems, if you sent more than 250, would cause problems for yourself. So we limit it to just protect you. So it's designed for that personalized communication. All of these things have a different mix. This is just a way to save you time. I want to reach out to 25 people, tell them about something. Maybe it's an event you're holding, or maybe you want to communicate about a not-for-profit to make sure that they come to this charity event you're doing. Could be anything. Could be just an open house. You want to reach out to a bunch of people about an open house, but in a one-to-one way. You can do that. So here what I'm doing here, I'm just selecting 4 people. Simple, 4 people I want to reach out to. Clicking on mail merge. Now I'm clicking on the template icon. I'm going to select a template here about their home evaluation. Now I'm personalizing for each individual person, which you can do. It saves you a lot of time. So I've queued up all these people, putting in a personalized note. And then when I hit send, each person is going to get their own copy of this email. You can see here I'm completely personalizing it about her remodel. Love to swing over. When I hit send, all 4 of these people are going to get their own copy of this email. When I look in my sent folder, I'm going to see 4 different emails. Kim, Terry, Carla, and Steve all got a different email, and they're not on that to line. So let's take a look at how to do that. So I'm going to go to people, and I'm going to find all the people in my garden club. So I just selected all the people in my garden club. Tap on the check mark here. So notice the check mark. Scroll to the very bottom, and I'm going to select, I've got 14 people that have this tag called Garden Club. Now I'm going to tap on the envelope, and I'm going to select Mail Merge. So now, each person is going to get their own copy of this email. So you can see how it's flipping through their names. Hi Allison, hi Eric, hi Bob, Jim, Bernadette. Each person is going to get their own copy of this email. What I could do, I could type up an email, something simple, send a simple email like that to every single person on that list. I could use the formatting options. I could add a link. Maybe I've got an interesting article I just read and I want to link and add that. I could do that too. The good one-to-one building relationship. You're just sending them something interesting. You know they're interested in gardening. That's it. If I tap on the review here, tap on that, I could press send now, and then all 14 people are all going to receive an email. Or I can say, I'm going to go down to Bob here and say planting tomato. Great. Click on review again, and then go down to Bernadette. I could put something different in for her, whatever I want. Each person can have their own unique email. So if I want to personalize for each, I can do that. Now also take note of these little arrows here. I can advance to each person. So if I want to go and just move ahead and work through one at a time. So there's Bob, the one we customized. Then I could advance over to next Bob. Move along like that. So you can advance forward if you'd like to. And then I can tap on review, tap on send, then each person will get a copy of that. Let's take a look at what that would look like. So I'm going to go to my sent folder. So you can see here, I sent out, how's the garden coming, to a bunch of people. Each person got the exact same email, But you can see on the to line, to Bertrand, to Ariel, to Bob. Each person got their own copy. It's a great way to reach out to a lot of people at once in a very efficient manner. Let's talk about recurring events. We can really help in this category. And this is a rare opportunity that we have to get all this information into our CRM, into Cloze. Lots of different things that we can remind you on each year. Purchase and sale anniversaries, wedding anniversaries, real estate reviews we just talked about, children's birthdays, lease expiration, all kinds of different fields are available for you there to just enter in that information. So track those important dates, and then we're going to remind you right on the agenda. Let's select Bertrand here. There's Bertrand. He's the one I just sent that email to. You scroll down the lower right, you're going to see lead source, purchase anniversary. So here's an example of one of those anniversary dates. So on June 4th, I'm going to get a reminder about his purchase anniversary. Here's his wedding coming up, just a few days. And then a real estate review for May 22nd. So these dates are all things you can fill in. So if you have time, and we tend to have a little more time right now, you've got this in paper somewhere, in a folder somewhere, in a notebook, something like that. Start to put that information in. If you can pull all your transactions for the last several years, put in the purchase and sale anniversaries, and it will really make a difference. You can also set birthdays. Birthdays are going to come in from your contacts. So in your Office 365 contacts, your Google contacts, your iPhone or Android contacts, if you have the birthday set there, they're going to come into Cloze automatically. If you don't have them, you can click on edit next to the person's name and then set that birthday. If you don't know the birth year, just set any year in the past, but get the birthday in there, and you'll be in good shape. Then we'll remind you right on the agenda. Same thing for the purchase and sale anniversaries. Make it an exercise. Make it a little project. Try to pick off little bite-sized things each day, and you can get a lot done. Put those dates in there, and then we'll remind you. And then when they come due, you can just simply swipe and reach out. It makes it very efficient. Again, we're building a foundation for when we get busy again. Use this downtime. It's very easy to just send off a couple of these notes each day, but the data has to be in there to remind you to do it. So get it in there, and it'll really pay off for you. If we look at my phone here, you can see I've got a sale anniversary for Carla. Swipe, reach out, template built in. I've got that real estate review for Kim. Same thing. Template built in. I can personalize it if I want. Purchase anniversary for Michael. And then another purchase anniversary for Scott. Now notice you can also go a little further. I could call. If I want to call, I can. Swipe and release on call. Easy to do. Let's talk about tags a little bit. Tags are a great way to organize where you meet people, how you logically think about them. So it could be a lot of different things. It could be that not-for-profit. It could be the example I just gave you with the garden club. I'm part of a horticultural society and I meet people there and I do all the different events. Whatever it might be, whatever you're involved in where you network and meet with other people. It could be the soccer sideline and it's all the parents from the soccer team, whatever it might be. But use those tags to give you another way to organize and think about the relationships. You're going to want to use the stage and segment, like we talked about yesterday, for the journey. Where are they on that journey? That's what the stages and segments are for. But tags are a great way to organize outside that journey. Easy to add them. You can have as many as you want too. Just tap on add tags under their name and you can add them. And it's easy to find them. So let's take a look at how we do that. Here's Bertrand again. There's Garden Club holiday card. So that's how I think of him. I know him from my garden club. That's where I met him originally. But I'm still using the relationship section here to organize where he is on the journey. People are going to move. He's going to become an in contract, then eventually a closed buyer. But I still want to find him as part of that garden club, or I want to find him as part of my holiday card list. So when I'm in the people section and I search for a specific group of people, I can always find them. Tags are great for that. So use the tags to give you that extra layer. And then remember those tags sync over to ActivePipe too. So any tag you have in Cloze replicate itself and be available in ActivePipe. The whole goal here is to get referrals going. So when you do get one, you're building these relationships very strong. You've been now interacting with all your past clients quite a bit. Make sure you're staying on top of that and going the extra mile for them too. Send a handwritten note and log that in Cloze. It's important to take care of the people that are referring you, those past clients. Make sure you're engaging with them. Log that referral. Link it. You can link it within Cloze. So you can link who referred you that new client you have. Because it's important to know who's sending you all those different referrals. Then when it closes, do something special for them. And you can pick what it is. I just gave a gift card to a restaurant. You got a favorite restaurant? It'd be something you send out. But if it's unexpected and you put something in the mail, handwritten note, and a gift card to a restaurant you like, they're going to get back to you, and it's another touch point. It continues to build that relationship. Always think of it in terms of a cycle. So here's in this animation how you can do that. So if you scroll way down, you'll see the details section. You'll see I'm setting the lead source because it's a referral from a past client. And I'm also going to set who referred it. So if you click on the pencil, a little icon there next referred by, I'm linking Monty. So Monty is the one who referred this person to me. Always good to track it. And you can see there all the people that Monty's been referring me. So let's do that together. No lead source here. If I click on that, I'm going to set a referral, past client. And then I'm going to do the same. I'm going to set Monty here, hit save. And now I've tracked that Monty is the one who sent the referral. Get that referral. You can click on Monty and then track. See how I logged that postal? So again, full circle here. Mailed Monty, and you pop that in there. Thank him for the referral. It's always a good cycle to get into. Here's some tips for getting started. Now's the time to invest. So start with your past clients. We've been working through. Yesterday, we talked about organizing all your contacts. Focus on a core group. So focus on your past clients. Get all of them in good shape because it will pay off. Get all their details in there. Always get this question, well, what should I do? Well, go find all those little details. If you have any of these, the easy ones that you should be able to find are purchase and sale anniversaries. Some of the other stuff you may not know, but you can also set that home evaluation date. When do you want to do that? And then get to work. You'll start to see them pop up on your Cloze agenda. Start to reach out. Set a goal, 5 a day, something like that. This is all about building that foundation. Try to connect with them at a personal level. Use all the tools that are out there. Meet face-to-face using Zoom or FaceTime or whatever you got. Start to get in the habit around those handwritten notes. Talked about this yesterday, but here's a recap in case you didn't make it yesterday. Remember that the relationship section is all about the buyer or seller journey. That's going to change with the person. So if you look here, you can see I've got a warm seller. That first part there, those are the stages. Warm, hot, in contract, closed, and lost. That works in tandem with the segment right below. This is a warm seller. Each stage and segment has its own set of steps. This is a warm seller with a step pre-listing interview. For all those past clients, they're going to be marked as closed sellers or closed buyers. The tags are all about outside that journey. The garden club, the sphere of influence, the holiday card. However you think of organizing outside the buyer and seller journey, those are great as tags. Stages, segments, next steps, and tags all sync from Cloze to ActivePipe. So they'll all be replicated over there, and you can continue that communication as well. We're trying to do both. So you want to organize them in one place. You can do the relationship building on one side. You can do the long-term nurturing, information transfer, and all of that using your email marketing tools. Once you're in the app and starting to organize, I don't want you to stray off and start to organize everybody. So don't sort alphabetically. Don't start deleting people. Focus just on those past clients. Get all your past clients in there. The ultimate goal across everything here is around 200 contacts. It's somewhere between 100 and 500, something like that. But it's not 1,000 or 5,000. Stay very focused. For today's exercise, really just focus on those past clients. That's the goal. Get them organized, get all those little details in so you can get back in touch with them. It doesn't need to be perfect for you to get in touch. You get a whole list of all your past clients. Maybe it's in a holiday card list. Great. Reach out to our support team. We'll help you get it in there, and then you can start reaching out. When you do, remember all those tips from the top agents. How can you be helpful? People are around right now, so reach out. Be authentic. Ask them about whatever it might be. Take notes. Be religious about taking notes because those notes make the next conversation a lot easier. You know exactly what to bring up. Make it all about them. It's personal. Don't make it about you. It'll swing back to your business. They'll ask about the real estate market right now, but let them get there rather than you pushing into it. And I always say, let the referrals come in. Don't push too hard on those. Build a routine. That's what you're building here. You're trying to build a foundation so that you have a course at a time each day. Think of it as the morning, first cup of coffee. I'm going to run through my agenda, make sure I take care of things as I go. You're going to be busy again and with all the normal distractions with that, but we need to still make sure that we're staying in touch with those past relationships, build those for the future. Starting on your day with Cloze. As you get into a routine, you're going to see all the things you did at the bottom. Make sure you check those off. Make sure you do all your follow-up. reach out to our support team. Again, we're more than happy to help with those spreadsheets, anything you got, help you import them. And again, everybody stay safe out there and look forward to hearing from you soon. Thank you all. Bye now.
If you need any more help, check out the support section at cloze.com or email us with any questions.